Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be about teacher interview tips. I am interviewing for an elementary position, but I feel like these tips could be for any grade. So first things first, when did I apply? I applied in May, which is late. Usually you should apply like after spring break, and that's whenever schools start looking. And a lot of my friends did get jobs like April. They already had a job. Go to the job fair, go to different districts, go to different schools, and get all of the interview practice that you can get. However, I wasn't going to teach next year, and then literally overnight was like, you know what, I am going to teach. So I applied on Friday the 6th/7th, because the interviews or the applications are kind of a lot, especially some of them have like questionnaires about like your personality, so it's kind of a lot. And I applied to 7 different districts, so the application process was tiring, but I got a interview by the next Friday, so the 13th. And this interview was for my dream position, and which is first grade ESL, and it was my dream district. But that interview was not my strongest. I was nervous, I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't really let my personality shine. And so by no surprise, I was not offered that position. But I did learn a lot. So my advice to you would first be to go to schools that is not your first choice first. That way you get kind of like used to it and understand what's expected before you go to your dream school, so you can completely rock that interview. So the next week is when things got kind of crazy. I interviewed on Tuesday the 17th with one school, different districts, so this was one district, and then on Thursday a different school in that district. So the other school had already told me no, and I had 2 schools in the same district that I interviewed with. Like I said, I interviewed on Tuesday. By Wednesday I had a job offer. And then by Thursday, I had another interview. And by Friday, I had 2 job offers. And they gave me 24 hours to decide what job I wanted. And so it was intense. So I had no idea what to do, which school to choose from. They both seemed really cool. And like I said, I had no idea about these districts, about these schools, because I didn't grow up going to that district or school or here. I didn't know anything about the city. I'm from Houston and I was applying in Austin. So I went on the internet and like Googled the school, went to their school website, went to the district website. On Instagram, if you type in the school and then go to the location, you can click on the location and see all the pictures that show up. And both schools seemed like a good pick for me. One school was smaller, one school was bigger, and I honestly did not know which one to choose. But ultimately, I chose a school that I felt would be a better pick. That is my experience. Here are my tips. So be yourself and be honest. There were times where they asked me questions where I knew the correct answer, but I also knew my answer. For example, in an interview, they asked me, what would I do if a student was up and like running around everywhere? I was myself, I was honest, and I think it's best that way because they're interviewing you and you're interviewing them. So you want to know what they expect of you, and they want to know what kind of teacher you are, if you fit in their school with their values. So yes, Google reviews, social media, websites, look at all of that. Give yourself practice runs. Just like sit in front of a camera, sit in front of a mirror, or ask somebody to ask you these questions, and like practice what you would say. Like one school gave me a list of questions. So once we set up the interview, they sent me a list of questions that they asked in that order. So I just wrote like little notes. That way, if I get kind of stuck, they would help. I would have notes to help me out. Tell me a little about yourself. And some of the best advice that I got, honestly, guys, don't sleep on TikTok. I know that's so funny, but TikTok, YouTube, Google really help me prepare for my interviews because they have great information. Obviously, you have to pick out what works for you, what's best for you. If you don't really agree with some things, you don't use it, obviously. But I'm going to tell you some of the things that I heard and I did, and they really helped me. So the first one is whenever they say tell a little about yourself, they don't want to know about what college you go to, what your resume says, and things like that. They want to know about you. So I picked one word. So they said, tell me a little about yourself. And I said, if I had to choose one word, I would choose blank. Because, and then why you picked that word. Obviously, you're not going to say, if you're in education, I chose to be, if I had to pick one word, it would be fun because I like to go out and have fun on the weekends. It would be, if I had to choose one word, it would be reliable because every deadline given to me, I always make sure that I stick to and stuff like that. Smile and show your personality. There were some interviews where, there was great energy and I was like, oh, ha 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 ha, so fun. Like the energy was fun. And then there were some interviews where those people on the other side were like HR, completely dry, no laughs, no giggles, like scary. And no matter what, I was always myself. I didn't let them like get me nervous or make me quiet. I just stuck to myself. I am somebody who's really giggly and fun and like sweet personality. So I showed that, and I did stumble upon my words often because even if I know something about the topic, I stumble upon my words. So I wasn't afraid to ask questions. I wasn't afraid to be me. So on all of my schools, I looked up their schedule, their school hours, their district, values, everything about them. On every interview, I made sure to kind of show that. So in any questions that you have, like some questions where I see your school hours are 7 to 3, what are your contract hours? Like I don't know the contract hours. So like asking questions like that show that you were on their website doing your research and you have questions about it. Like some schools did like yoga after school and things like that, and I was really interested in those programs. So I asked like, hey, I saw online you offer this program, can you tell me a little bit about that? And I thought they were really surprised that I did my research. So after you interview, they'll always ask you, so do you have any questions? This is your time to shine. I always ended my interview with schools that I was really interested in by saying, thank you so much for this opportunity. Looking at your school website, I can see myself becoming part of your school family. And then like some things that you saw on their website, like I saw some schools were family oriented in a student nurturing environment. Then I'd say, I can't wait to hopefully be and then the school name and then the school mascot. And I think they all seem to really enjoy that. Because like I said, it shows that you did your research, but also like these things are important to me. Like I see that they are family oriented, and that's a big, huge value for me. So these are my tips. This is this is what I have for you. Good luck. You got this. It is very intimidating. It is. But let yourself shine. You know, you have unique things that you're bringing into this interview. There was an interview where I felt it went awful. like I felt like everything they were telling me, it was like to bash me. And I got offered the position, and whenever the principal wasn't there, and so when the principal called me offering me the position, she was like, yeah, they said this and this and this about you. And when they were talking to me about it, it felt like if they were not really interested in me because of these things, but since they were asking me so many questions. But now that I can reflect on it, they were asking me all of these questions because they were genuinely interested in me. So don't psych yourself out. Make sure that you ask questions, make sure that you feel it's a right fit, and I wish you all of the luck. If you have any other questions, tips, or tricks, let me know. Let us know down in the comments, and good luck. I will see you in my next video.